Hey everyone, it's Bethany. Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be using this brand new stamp set, to me at least. This is a new stamp set from Lawn Fawn, or again, new to my craft room at least. And I'm going to be doing a really cute card. And because of the amount of little characters here, I think we have, is it 6 or 7? It's seven little penguins. I thought it would be fun to do a slimline card. And I think I've only done one slimline card on my channel. Ever. I think ever. So yeah, ever. I think that's true. So I'm going to be making my second ever slimline card, unless one of you can think of another one I've done. This is at least number 2 or 3. So let's go ahead and make a card. I know that I need to really quickly go and research the actual size of a slimline card. So let me do that real quick. And then I'm going to show you, actually, I am inspired by this card that we made last week. I love how this turned out. And I think my favorite thing about this is the whole color tone and just feel of it. I love the kind of peachy pink cardstock in the back, and then I really love the pastel neutrals of their little scarves. So when I made this, I knew I was going to be making something with this stamp set. So I'm going to go with kind of the same tones, but I'm going to make it a slimline card. All right, enough chit chat. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I do have the coordinating dies as well. Of course, I really don't have many stamp sets without coordinating dies, and if I do, it's because there were no dies created for that set. I really love a coordinating die. Yes, they definitely are more expensive, but to me, it really is worth it. Okay, so let me set these to the side for a moment, and I'm going to grab some cardstock. We're going to stamp out just about everything, I think. And then check out all of the cute little sentiments. We have, here we go a-waddling, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. It's penguining to look a lot like Christmas. It's hard for me to say. Hope your Christmas either jingle bell rocks or is merry. We have a little fa la la. These are all really cute. Okay, so I think, let's go ahead and start with the cute little critters. So let's grab the Misty. All right. And this is 80-pound cardstock. So let's just grab, I want to grab every single penguin. So we have some that are, caroling. We have some that are kind of dancing. And then we have this rock star penguin who's got a little Santa hat on, and he has a guitar. Okay, and then I think, well, I do want to do this little bell. I think that's cute. And then I'm going to do the street lamp. Okay, so, well, let's see here. It doesn't really matter how they are on there, but you do want to make sure you give enough room for your coordinating dies to go around each of your images. So try not to squish them too close together. I know as card makers and crafters, really, in general, we're always trying to save materials, but we also don't want to get these too close and then not be able to cut them out, especially after we spend all the coloring time that we're going to. All right, let's see, where'd my ink go? Okay, as always, everything I'm using will be linked down below, but this is the ink that I use and have always used for stamping out images that I know are going to be colored, especially with alcohol markers. Alcohol markers, they can smear if you don't use the correct ink. So we don't want this nice outline in black we don't want that to bleed and smear into our nice color. So we're going to use an alcohol-friendly marker. Okay, and I did kind of have some lotion on my hands when I conditioned these stamps, so they're kind of looking a little bit more marbly than they normally do, but I'm just going to double or triple stamp this, and we'll get these looking really good. Aren't they cute? As always, I bought this stamp set to color. I just can't help it. I love how this looks. Okay, one more time, should be plenty. And then I'm gonna give this a good long while to dry because I did do, at this point, 3 layers. So probably about 5 minutes, but in that 5 minutes, I am going to research my slimline card dimensions. I don't have that memorized because, again, I don't make them. So It's not my standard card size that I make. Oops, and I need to wash my hands. Okay, so I went ahead and Googled the Slimline card size, and a standard Slimline card is 3.5 inches by 8.5 inches. So let's go ahead and cut that out. And then again, I'm gonna do it out of that Nectar cardstock. Okay, so my cardstock is 8.5 by 11, so one of my sides is already done. So this side just needs to go to 3.5, is that correct? Let's do that. Okay, so I have 8.5 by 3.5, which should be correct. So now what I'm going to do is, I do want to trim this down just a little bit. That way it's not the exact same size as my card base. So let me do, let me take just 1/4 inch off each edge. Okay, so 1, and then let's see, we had 8.5, so we'll go down to 8.25. So now I am at 8.25 by 3.25. Okay, so that's going to be our card base that we work on. Like last time, I think I'm also going to do a snowy edge. So let me get another piece of cardstock that is the same size as this in white, and then we'll have some fun kind of creating a snowy scene here. Okay, so here are my pieces, same size, 8.25 by 3.25. I'm gonna grab some scissors, and hopefully I can do this really nicely, but I am going to just try and do a very gentle, snowy kind of drift or hill, which I know are completely different things, but it's kind of what I'm going for, is like a smooth little drift. Okay, you know what? I think I nailed it. I think that's exactly what I want to do. So this is going to be my scene at the bottom. I love that. Okay, so there we go. Now let's go ahead and, oh, I really like that. Okay, before anything else, let's glue this down. Sorry, I feel like I'm all scattered all over the place. My hubby took my little guy. They're gonna go run an errand, and I have about an hour before I need to leave to go do school pickup. So I'm given this kind of nice time during the day, which doesn't happen a lot. I'm a nighttime crafter. I always craft after bedtime. But when I get these little opportunities to do daytime crafting, I kind of feel like I get a little rushed because I get so excited, but I also have a time crunch. So more and more I'm getting a little bit of daytime crafting in. Kind of just depends on the season. Okay, so I'm gluing that down to the bottom. I'm going to shift that up just a little bit. There we go. Best thing about liquid glue is you have a little time to get it all positioned. Okay. How pretty. Okay, this is what I want to do next. Really quickly, I'm going to create a snowy scene. And the reason I'm doing that is because I like to work in a way that I'm always getting something done. Because right now what I'm doing is I'm waiting for this to dry, but I don't want to just be sitting here waiting. So in the meantime, while this dries, I am going to work on something else that's going to need some dry time. That way when this is done, then I can go right to my coloring while this part dries. So I always try to pair some drying time with some drying time. Okay, so I love this. I have been using this nonstop, especially in the winter season, and I'll link it for you. Let me get some water, and I'm also going to use a little paintbrush. I'm also going to be mindful that anything that I want to stay clean is not near this, because this gets a tad messy. You should see my computer monitor in front of me. It looks like a snow scene. So I'll water this down just a little bit. Okay. Go. And what I want to do here, kind of test it over here. Okay, what I want to do here is just create a nice snowy look, a nice snowy backdrop. Okay. And I wanted to add the white as well, because even though it's going to be a white on white little spatter there, I think it's going to be nice because it's going to give that snow just a little bit of texture. Okay, and I'm gonna stop there. Sometimes the most important thing about doing something like this is not going overboard. So I'm going to stop there, and this is going to dry while we start our coloring. So I'll set that to the side. Let me clean up real quick, and then it's time to color our little penguins. Okay, I'm gonna go really non-traditional with my colors. I like to do just some un-Christmassy colors for my images. So this is the set that I'm going to use, and something that I like to do when I am finding and pulling colors for a card is I like to keep it really basic. So I have a pink or whatever colors you want, but I have one pink, I have one teal, one orange, a set of gray, and then a brown because I need those. But I don't get every color of the rainbow. So for example, I brought in the oranges because I want to do their little beaks, but I'm also going to bring in the orange for maybe a book or maybe a scarf. So something like that. But I just pick some basic colors and I incorporate them all into all of the images. So that's just one way that I kind of simplify my coloring so that it all coordinates really well together. And why don't I move this? I'm gonna move this to the opposite side so that I just have a little bit more freedom on this side. All right, and I moved my other pink over here because I know this is for the cheeks and I don't want to mix it up. All right, so I know for a fact that my little penguins are going to be black. So I'm going to start with my C3, and I'll list every marker color down below for you. And I'm going to practice on one of my little standalones down here because if I mess up one, it's easy to fix by just restamping one instead of a big one. So I'm going to go and do, I guess their little feet are orange too, huh? So when I said I just got that orange for the beaks, I was wrong. Okay. And then for my darker, I'm going to do the C5. So I did all over color with my lighter. I'm going to go through and then add shadow here. Okay. And I've said this many times, but if this is the first time you're catching me create, I like to omit black and do a gray instead. It's just a way that I can soften my images because I like a little bit more of a neutral and pastel look in style. Okay, so I like how that looks. I think we're gonna go for it. So I'll go ahead and recreate that on the rest of these cute little penguins. So the C3 and the C5. Okay, so I am done with my grays, and I'm going to go ahead and as I finish, I'm going to just put those away. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to come back through. I have my gel pen, and I'm going to just mend any areas that I kind of got out of the lines. I like to kind of do this as I go, just so I don't forget. I think that was only a couple, and honestly, they were in the first ones that I did. Okay, I like how those look. They're very, very sweet. All right, now let's start with some color. It always really brings it together. I think I'm going to bring in my R32, R21. So let's do that. R21 is my lighter. So I'm going to make this kind of like a Santa hat, but I like to do pinks instead of reds. So let's do our combo up here and see how we like it. So R21, and the darker is going to be R32. Bring in some, I'm going to double that up actually. Sometimes I like to wait just a second so it doesn't sink too far in. Feather that out with my lighter shade. Okay, and then trying to decide, I don't know that I want to do the same color Santa hat on both of them. So let's do this book. Do I have my, oh, that's not the right color. I'm going to do this book with my R21 all over color, and I kind of have to shift my paper as I color just to help me stay in the lines. Okay. And I'm going to give this a second just to kind of dry. So I'm going to bring that same color. Again, remember, I like to bring in multiple colors in multiple areas. So I'm going to make, let's make her earmuffs that color. Okay, just to bring in some consistency. And I'll also do the little band that connects them. Okay. And then let's go back in with the R32. I'm going to go along the top. See how if I waited just a little bit, and it wasn't a lot. It was maybe, 20 seconds or so, but just waited a little bit to add my shadow, then that color sits more on top of the base color instead of sinks down into it. Okay. I think that looks nice, and it'll kind of smooth out as it goes. I'll do the same thing probably just on this ear here. Smooth it out. Okay, very subtle. Okay, what other one would I like to do? I think, let's stop there for a second, and I'm not going to put these pinks away because I'm not certain that I'm quite done yet. But let's do something else for a second. I'm going to bring in the COO. Now, this is something you're probably not going to notice much of, but I'm just going to bring in a little bit of gray to this little white belly area, just to give it a little something so it's not all stark white. Again, if you're saying you can't see it, it's okay. In person, it's subtle enough just to kind of shadow it up a little bit, just a little bit. We're not looking for it to be obvious here. Just kind of breaking up that white. Okay, so that was COO. I think that's good. That one I will put away. And now we're going to go through and do our yellows, or I'm sorry, our oranges. So this is going to be our beaks and our little feet. So we have beaks and feet, and I'm going to do a couple images at a time. I don't like to do more than that because I don't want that to dry too much to where it's hard to blend it out. But I like to do kind of 2 images at a time when they're this small, so then I can bring in my darker, just like that, and then blend out. Okay, lighter again. So I'll just repeat that exact combination. So light, dark, light with these two colors, and I'll finish the beaks and their little feet. Okay, and I realized that I forgot the little wings or flappers, whatever we want to call them, on these two bottom guys. So I'm going to color and then probably just add a tiny bit of shadow. Okay, good to go. Let's bring in, loving how that looks so far. I'm going to bring in the kind of teal turquoise. So we have BG10, and I'm going to bring that in on this scarf over here. There we go. And this hat. Then BG11 will be my darker. Add some shadows. I'm going to let that dry for a second, and then I'm going to add even more shadow there. I also think I'll do this book. So BG10 for the book. Since the other one was pink, I don't want them to all have matching books. We want to keep the color kind of flowing throughout the image. I'm going to double up real quick since these dried pretty well. I don't know that I'm even going to blend that out. I think I'm going to let that sit on top. I'm liking how that looks. Okay, I'm going to let that dry just a little bit more as well. And then for, let's see. Okay, that's nice and kind of dry. So I'm going to add some shadow here, just along the top. And then since that dried pretty well, I'm going to blend that out just a little bit with my lighter color. Okay. I love it. Okay, so again, I'm not quite sure if I'm done with my turquoise. I think I might be. Let's pause and do some orange again. I'm going to bring some orange into probably this scarf here. And I know this little guy has lots of orange on him, but that's okay. And I'm also going to bring in a little bit of orange here. Just kind of like that, just to give that a little glow. And then let's do something like this. There we go. And I don't know, should I, well, I guess it will kind of look a little bit more like fire. Yeah, I like that. And then I'm going to take my lighter one though and just kind of blend it even more. Okay. Let me go ahead and blend this guy out. Just like that. All right, that looks great. I'm gonna bring my pink back and do, actually, I'm gonna do maybe pink both here, since it's just a little subtle pink area. And then on this one as well. Oh, I was originally thinking I wasn't going to do pink on this. I think I was going to bring in the turquoise, but that's okay. Okay, there we go. Should leave that out. R32. We'll do just a little bit there. And there. Okay, I'm gonna let that set for just a second. And I also want to bring in, you know what, I'm gonna do a little turquoise bell. I think that'll be cute. Blend this one out. Okay, I should be done with those colors. So all of those can go away. And I thought I needed to mend there, here. Okay, let's do this color for our bell. I think that will be kind of cute. Make it kind of non-traditional in that it's not gold. And I'm gonna let that set for a second before I add this color, because again, these are so similar that sometimes they like to sink into one another. Okay, let's do our cute, you know what would be cute is if the, oh, that could be really cute actually. I was thinking it would be kind of neat if the, I'm gonna do that. Sorry, okay, I really am gonna tell you. I'm gonna make the guitar this turquoise color, and then I'll do maybe the brown up the like arm of the guitar. I think that'd be kind of cute. So let's do something like this. Okay. I'll wait for that to kind of set for a second. Oh, that's cute. Again, just keeping everything really consistent so that it all flows together. There we go. Okay, and I can even bump up the shadows here and kind of feather them out. Okay, that looks good. Let's bring, it's my darker. I'm gonna go here and maybe here. Okay, let's leave those to the side for just a moment. And maybe just with my lighter, I was gonna do 2 colors, but since I'm just doing this small space now, and honestly, you could bring your gray back in here as well. That would be really neat. But because it's gonna, I think it's just gonna sink into the gray backdrop to me. So I'm gonna do that brown. Or, you know, it's gonna sink back into that penguin. Maybe I will bring this one in as well and just add a little bit of shadowing. Okay, there we go. Looks good. All right, now I'm just waiting on, what am I waiting on to dry? Oh, this little guy. I just wanted to bump this up in shadow and then blend out. Okay, that looks good. Finally, we are going to add little cheeks. In fact, I'll also bring back in my COO just for these little areas here. Oh, I used to have a glitter pen. Do I still have that? Gosh, I haven't seen that in forever. I don't think I have that anymore. I think mine leaked. I got like a faulty one. I haven't seen that in a while. I'll have to go rewatch some of my videos to see what brand that was and repurchase it. That would have been fun to put that on the little white of the hats and the pom-poms. Okay, I'm gonna bring in my final little color here, which is R20, and just gently dab that on everyone's cheeks. This makes the world of difference, in my opinion, on these little animals. Okay, I think it just makes it look so cute. Final touch, which is my favorite part ever, is doing just some embellishments with the white gel pen. So things that I like to do are, I'm gonna go kind of in order because this kind of, it kind of takes a minute to dry. So I wanna make sure that I'm not kind of going all over the place. I wanna go in somewhat of an order. So for this little hat, I'm gonna add just a few little polka dots, something like that. I'm gonna add just some highlights to the guitar and also to the penguin. Okay. And I'll just do the same thing. So maybe for this one, I'll do some cute polka dots. And then obviously my highlight. Maybe here I'll do some little subtle stripes. for the book, I am just going to just add some along the top here. And maybe a solid hat there. For this hat, let's do the opposite. Let's do some kind of stripes here. Okay, and then maybe a polka dot for this scarf. Okay, and then I might do another solid hat. Do some accents. Okay. Cute. And then these little guys are super simple. They just kind of get a couple little accents along them. Maybe I'll do... Okay. That's it. That's completely it. We are done. Okay, in current real time, I'm at 46 minutes. So let's see, how much time do I have? I have some time. Let's go ahead. I'm going to let these dry for a moment. The only other thing that I was thinking that I didn't do, but I think I'm okay because I think I could probably do it down here, is I didn't stamp a sentiment. And let's look real quick because I think the best opportunity for a sentiment will be in the snow for that contrast. So I probably should have done that. Oh, look how cute that would have been. Oh my word. I don't know that I could heat emboss that. Plus, I wouldn't have enough room for all of my cutie pies. But that would have been super cute. And what a lucky thing that would have been to cut that just so. I mean, it's not perfect, but that is darn near intentional there. Okay, well, you know what I could do, though, is I could do that and do underneath in black. Would that be cute? Let's see. Maybe bring it down a little bit. Let's do that. Why not? And I think we have enough area. Let me grab, I think I'm gonna need my bigger Misty to pull this one off. Okay, let's go ahead and go out a little bit here. Sorry, I should have done that a little bit more gracefully, but let's bring this bigger one in. And hopefully this works because I'm really liking this backdrop that I made. Okay, I like that. Okay, again, it doesn't take that curve perfectly, but it's too close to not do it, especially when that wasn't what I was going for. All right, so I'm gonna double check that because I think that already shifted. In fact, let's grab tape. I'm going to tape that down. Okay, let's bring this down. I'm gonna condition this a little bit. Oh, it's kind of off screen. And hopefully that stamps nice, because I think there's one part of the snow it might be on. Hopefully that stamps nice. So if you want to do this, maybe stamp your sentiment first and then do your snow splatter or spatter. Oops, I don't think I got all that. Okay, say a little prayer. Hopefully that works out. Oh, it did. Well, that's cute. I like that. That's really fun. Okay. Sorry, I'm gonna have to kind of keep shifting this so you can see, but I'm gonna at least double, if not triple stamp that. Yeah, let's do one more. Okay. Oops, oh, wrong way. Get the baby wipe out. All right. Oh, that looks so cute. What a happy little accident there. And when I was bringing this out, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do for a sentiment because I don't know, I wasn't really loving the curve, but it worked for this little card. I like the curve in that, you know, it's showing like a singing song type of movement, but at first I was thinking I was going to do one of the more straight sentiments. Okay, so again, because I've been kind of going back and forth, now this is dry as I'm waiting for my gel pen to dry, because that gel pen is a little thick, so it can take a minute. Okay, so here's all my elements so far. So cute, and again, inspired by the tones of this card. So really cute. I'm really liking the addition of the orange too. I think that's fun. Okay, I'm gonna really quickly go through my dies and trim them apart. Gosh, I really do think this is my second Slimline card ever. Gosh, but I'm wondering if I did do a third. This is just me talking to myself, trying to think. If there's anyone who will know, it'll be all of you. Someone will know if I've done 2 or 3. Okay, so I'm going to trim all of these out so I can tape them around my little stamped images and get them all cut out. Okay, so there's only one, I think, in that set that I'm not going to use. So I'm gonna grab my tape and also going to trim these apart because I like to use my mini die cut machine. It's just my favorite. It's easy to grab and use. So I'm going to trim those apart so that it fits through my mini machine. And then these all feel dry. So I'll go ahead and find which one matches and tape these down. Now when I tape them down, I'm going to focus on, this is something new I've been doing, but it's been necessary. I'm gonna go and tape more on the outside and not over the colored image, because sometimes, even though I'm using washi tape, which is extremely low tack, but sometimes it still wants to kind of tear as I pull it up, and I don't want to risk tearing that color or tearing my actual image. So this is something that I'm just getting myself in the habit of doing now, is always taping on the outside of my die cut. That way if it rips the surrounding paper, it's no big deal. Okay, let's do this little guy. And I usually double up the tape just to make sure it truly doesn't shift, especially given how long I spent on coloring. Which to me, and I've said it a billion times, to me, time spent coloring is time well spent for me. It really allows me to just be still. Where is, oh, there it is. Okay. I don't get to be still, like many of you, right? I feel like we're always moving. And it's nice to have an excuse to sit and just be. Plus, make something for someone. And yes, this probably will be thrown away, but the contentment and the fun that I'm having create it, that's where the joy is. You can't expect everybody to keep all your things. And that's something that just as a crafter, I always keep in mind, that I'm making it with the joy of surprising somebody, and the love and the excitement is in making it and gifting it, and then, you know, they'll enjoy it for as long as they want to. Okay, there we go. Look at these little cuties. Okay, let's send it through a mini die cut machine and then assemble this. One of the silly reasons why I am using my mini die cut machines more and more, well, pretty much primarily actually, is because I hurt my arm so badly. Well, not hurt it, but my arm is just kind of like sore. in the springtime. So, I mean, we're going on, I really need to see somebody about it. We're going on probably 5 months at least. My daughter, her kindergarten class went on a field trip, and my son wasn't in preschool at the time, so he came along with us. Well, I carried him the entire field trip, which was probably around an hour, but my little boy's 3 and he's grown so much. And it was so funny because for a while my arm just kind of hurt. I was like, oh man, but I think I actually injured it or pulled something. Isn't that funny? And I was talking to, who was I talking to? I was talking to somebody about like funny little injuries and like, oh gosh, I need a better story of why that hurts. Instead of, oh, it's from carrying my little boy around. But a lot of injuries are from being a mama, right? Like, oh my gosh, it's funny, like they step on your little feet and all these things. So one of the reasons I'm always grabbing from my mini machines is because they're not heavy. They're easy to grab and go. So if you're wondering why you see my minis pretty much exclusively, it's because I am just anything that's light at this point. I need to see probably a physical therapist or something at this point, but I'm stubborn. I'm one of those stubborn ones that just prays it's gonna go away. Okay. I'm going to just, I'm already loving that because I know I need to have this at a little valley. Let's start with our little big guys. Thinking maybe here. Oh, I don't want to lose the curve of, maybe I'll have them here. I don't want to lose the curve of our hill, so maybe I'll put them here. And then we're going to spread out the joy here. Maybe I'll have this guy here. Hello?
Hey, you want us to pick up the big rolls?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm in the middle of making such a cute card. Do you mind doing that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, love you.
Love you.
Bye. Okay, my husband is actually running errands and he's going to grab the kids from school, so I have a little bit more time to play. Okay. So let's do, because I want these little guys kind of watching, and I'm going to do it, I like them actually over that little hump. These are cute. Yeah, maybe we'll do this, keep our carolers somewhat together. And then I'm going to overlap those two. I'm going to bring these in so this guy's not hugging the edge as much. Okay, you also could add your, let's zoom in a bit so you can see. You can add your snow at this point too, if you wanted to maybe have the penguins get a little bit of the snow on them too. That'd be really, really cute. Okay, so I think I'm gonna have, do I want the bell? Maybe this little guy carrying the bell. I think the bell is almost too, it's not to scale enough for me. It's just too big. So I'm gonna omit the bell and I'm gonna do that. I think they're super, super sweet. Although, do I want these two kind of a little bit more? Yeah. Okay. Loving that. I'm going to grab my phone and take a quick picture of that so that I know and can reference what I want that to look like. Okay. So I'll just keep that up here so I know what my end result wants to be. And let's do this. Let's put this on a card base. So again, it was, what was it? 3.5 by 8.5. So I need a piece of cardstock that is 8.5 by 7. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, so 8.5 by 7. Grab my scoreboard. Zoom out just a little bit here. So now I'm going to do 3.5. Okay, so we had 8.5, 7.5. Oh, no, 8.5 by 7. And then half of 7 is 3.5. Okay, so I'm going to do as much as I can here. Then I'll flip it, see where that score kind of stopped. And then I'll go to the 3.5 and do the rest from there so that I have a full score line. Okay, then I can fold that. go. And then I'm gonna open this. Let me put this little score tool away. I'm going to open this, magnetize that down, and then I'm going to add some foam tape on the back of this piece and bump this up on my panel. And again, I originally had trimmed that down, so now we have a 1/8 inch margin all the way around. That's really cute. All right, so I'll grab foam tape and add a few little layers to the back. Well, not layers, strips to the back. Get this all bumped up. Right, and just remove this. Right, let's get this all straight and position that. Ooh, I'm excited. I'm really excited about a slimline card. That is really fun. Okay, let's get some skinny, well, we'll do a combo. I think I have some half sheets here I need to use up. Yes, I do. Okay, always feels good to get rid of all these little ones, doesn't it? Okay, let's do, for this piece though, I know I want to just add this with some glue because I know I'm gonna layer some of my other penguins on top of that. So let's get some liquid glue for this one. And I'm looking at my picture and it's above that W-I. And there we go. Look straight, I think so. I love the little fire in there, that's really cute. I had to check though, because I wasn't sure if the die was gonna cut out that inside window too, so. All right, then let's do these guys. I'm gonna grab some of these bigger ones, place them along the back. I like to do more adhesive. Probably could do less, but I want that to really be on there. Okay, so these little guys, my picture. Okay, so these little guys are just like this. Wonderful. Then we have this one with the book, and I'm going to do 1 and 1. Love having the 2 sizes of the foam squares. They definitely come in handy. And you can trim them down further if you need to. If you need some narrow pieces. I'm going to have him kind of take, there we go. There we go. Okay, then we have, I'm going to start with the rockin' penguin over here. And I almost kind of want it to look like they're holding hands, which is kind of fun, or at least they're definitely a little duo. Okay, let's go ahead and add our final embellishments. And I love this specific sequins. If you've been watching my videos so far this year, you know what I'm gonna pull. It's this pretty kind of holographic sequins. So let's grab, it's pretty, and it takes the color of that background really nice too. So it's subtle, but it's there. It's really nice. I'm gonna do, I think I wanna focus on it just kind of being up in the air. Let me kind of see, hold on. I know I wanna add them, but I don't know if I want to do kind of like random snow or if I want to do some intentional little clusters. Ooh, I think I'm gonna do, just because I already have some snow kind of circulating, I think I'll do some random little clusters. So maybe like a little duo here. Oops, come here. A duo here, maybe a trio. Over here. Well, that's fun. And then maybe one there. So instead of having them like fall, I'm just gonna have a few little fun spots that we can put a couple clusters around. I actually think I like that. I think that's fun. It's simple, and then it also adds some sparkle to the sky. But then it's not too much to where it's taking away from all of the fun snow that we splattered on earlier. Okay, so I'll go ahead and add those all the way around. Okay. Oh, they're sweet. All right, really quickly, I'm going to turn this all the way around and add my personalized stamp right to the back. There we go. And there is the final card. I love that. And it was kind of nice to step out of my comfort zone and do a different size card. I really, really love how that turned out. Plus, again, it just encourages me to try stuff like this more often. I love this. All right, it's time to clean up my craft room, but I am just loving how that turned out. It's so sweet. And I love the little clusters of the sequins. It's just so fun. All right, I hope this was inspiring to you, and let me know if you decide to give this a try as well. Also, let me know if you've decided to start your Christmas cards early like I did this year. Usually I don't like to do this until, I don't know, like late November, because I like to live in the season I'm in. But this year I've been having fun starting this process a little bit early, because then once Christmas arrives, I can really slow down and enjoy it. So hopefully you enjoyed watching this. Please be sure to give it a thumbs up if you did, and I'll see you all in the next video.